Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. You guys will be seeing this probably on Sunday, maybe Monday. So I hope everybody had a great holiday and a great holiday weekend. We're going to be discussing what we're thankful for 2020, which was the strangest year in my life, and we're going to be making the stuffing for our turkey and preparing our turkey. That's something that I do every year. I do to give Missy really kind of a break. It's just my way of helping out. So we're going to do that. This is not going to be really a cooking vlog. We're going to take you along on that, but we're just going to talk about some of the strange things and things that happened on 2020 and what we're grateful for. So come along with us. Alright guys, so one of the things that I put in my stuffing is some cornbread. This is Jiffy's cornbread mix. I put 2 boxes. So I already made that. It's in the oven. And we're going to take the neck and the giblets and we're going to get that in a pot of water and we're going to let that boil down. Also, 2 loaves, big family loaves of bread, a whole stalk of celery, a couple of onions, some butter, and some Bell's seasoning. This is the pan we're going to make our stuffing in, and then it's going to go back here in our, well, it's going to go in our turkey, and then the turkey's going to go in our roaster. So we're going to do some of that. So 2020, where do I begin? I mean, obviously I am thankful that everybody is healthy. Me and Missy made it to this point. The girls on Missy's side, my sister and my nieces and nephews, and as far as we can tell, all cousins have all made it through without any serious complications from COVID. So that's really a good thing, and we're very grateful for that. Unfortunately this year, I usually do this and make our turkey, and then we go to my sister's house to celebrate Thanksgiving there. But the virus it's really blowing up right now, and we made the decision that we would just do it at home this year. We're going to Zoom with my sister later on, and I'm sure Missy's going to call her daughters later on, and that's where we're at as far as this Thanksgiving goes. I'm sure it was different for every family out there trying to deal with everything that's going on, but I really hope you were able to make it work and get something happening and have a good time. So that's that part of it. I am extremely thankful that we were able to purchase the land that is going to be our homestead, and purchase that debt-free, which is really a huge thing moving forward for us in making this this whole plan come together. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for Missy's job. There's a lot to be thankful for, and even in the midst of the year that I'm sure everybody has had. So what we're going to do now is we're going to shred up this bread, okay, and then we're going to dice up the celery and the onions, and we're going to get them into a fry pan on low to medium with a stick of butter, and we want them to just cook down a little bit, get a little bit translucent, and by then our cornbread should be ready and we'll start putting it all together. So I'm going to do all that and check back with me and we'll see how it goes. Alright guys, we're back. We got a lot of our ingredients together, and this here is our bread crumbs all broken down. What you want to do is you want to get it as small as possible. You don't want it much bigger than that. In fact, the smaller the better. Okay? And get that all broken down. Okay, and then into that, so I have made the cornbread. Here's the cornbread, just a straight up Jiffy cornbread mix, and you're just gonna pop that in there. Get it all in there, every little bit. And then you want to get that all mixed together and mixed in. And be careful, because the cornbread, I let that sit about 15 minutes, let it cool down. But it still might be hot. But I usually get in there and get it all mixed really good together and make sure that there's no big chunks of cornbread. Look at that, guys. That's what I'm talking about. Just all mixed together. The regular bread, white bread. I use white bread. If you want to use wheat bread, you could use wheat bread. I don't really see why there's an issue. You can make your own homemade bread. This here is the giblets. It's the liver and the heart, and I dice it up really, really small. You can see it's really small, and we're just going to get that in there too and get that all mixed in. And that makes sure that as it cooks in the turkey, it'll really bring out that turkey flavor. Okay? And then the next thing that we're going to put in there is our celery and onions. Now we cut up the celery and onions. I cut it up pretty small little bits. Okay, and you're going to cook it in a stick of butter till it starts to get translucent. Now we're going to get that all in there. Okay, but don't throw this pan in your dish soap. Put it back on the stove. Because you really want 2 sticks of butter. So 1 stick of butter I let cook into the celery and the onion. And the other stick of butter I'm just going to throw back in that pan. And I'm going to cook it down and then pour that in. So we're going to let that cook down. And we're going to get this all stirred together. Obviously, you're not going to stick your hands in there right now, because those onions and celery are going to be pretty hot. Okay? And you're going to see as you do this, it's going to start getting moist. And that's kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for a nice moisture. So while our butter's cooking down, our Tilted K Homestead supporter mug, you can get that on Teespring, I believe. "2020 and things to be thankful for." Another one of the things that we're really thankful for is this year Missy had to have surgery pretty much right in the middle of the virus. I believe it was June. Missy had to go in and have abdominal surgery. Now she's doing fine. She's right back up and running. In fact, she's going to go for what I believe is her last appointment at the doctor's and follow up. So keep your fingers crossed for that. But I am very, very thankful that everything went very well for her. Missy's a very important part of my life, and I'm thankful for her every single day. But I'm especially thankful that she pulled through and everything worked out fine. So we're going to get that butter going, and we're going to get that in. And then those giblets, I boiled them in the water with the neck and stuff. Where we have that water, we're going to bring that over and we're going to ladle some of that in like a turkey broth. If you want to use canned or jarred, whatever, chicken broth to moisten up your stuffing, you can do that. This is just the way I do it. So let's get that going, and we'll get right back to you. Alright guys, butter's all set, so we're going to get that in there. Spread it out a little bit as you pour it in. Get that all in there. Oh, that looks good. Alright, let's get that stirred up a little bit. You know, we were really lucky to have found the land that we found down in Arkansas. Actually, when we started looking around, obviously online for land, we started in the North Carolina, South Carolina, Eastern Tennessee side. That's kind of the climate zone we wanted to be in. And Missy's oldest daughter lives in South Carolina, so we were going to get closer to her and be able to see the grandbaby down there more often. But we ended up moving a little bit farther west to Arkansas, and we're still closer to Jamie, and we'll be able to see her more. So, all right. So this pot right here is what I cooked the giblets down in, and it's got a nice broth to it. And we're just going to take that broth and we're going to stir some of that in to this stuffing. And I'll tell you, there's no real recipe that I use to do this. When I think it looks right, that's when I stop putting fluid into it. So, and obviously this is not it, but you'll see it. It'll start really firming right up, and that's kind of what I like to see. It also keeps a lot of moisture in your bird when you cook it, which is not a bad thing at all. Nobody really likes a dry turkey. That's always a bummer. So 2020 has proved to be quite a challenge, I think, for everybody. It's kind of weird. We didn't go to Bike Week this year. There's a lot of things we did not do this year. We have not seen many of our friends, really. Usually all summer long we're either have people over to the campground or we go to visit people at events. 2 weddings were canceled. Several kids' birthday parties were canceled. A lot of stuff was canceled this year. But it might have all been worth it because, like I said, nobody really got sick. So that worked out good. Missy got a new job. She moved, same field, but she's going to be working in the school system, partially remote, partially in person, doing what she does, which is ABA work. And I am still with the same company, driving truck, but with Missy's new job, she got a slight bump in pay, and I just got a very significant raise in pay. Thank you to my company, because that helps us to move forward, to save more money, and get down and get the homestead up and running and get it started. All right, so this is about what you're looking for. You can see that it's not breadcrumby anymore. It's almost the consistency of like a meatball, you know, where you can squeeze it together and it sticks. So that's usually pretty good right there. Okay, at this point we're going to add the bells to it. Now again, I don't really have a recipe. I'm sure there's a measurement amount on the bells box for how much bells seasoning you're going to put in here, but I kind of do it to taste. I'm going to start with, what do we got here? That's 2.5 tablespoons, so 5 teaspoons, that I have put in so far. It should be fairly cooled down now. Yeah, it's cooled down enough. You can get in there with your hands and get it all mixed up. Of course, you're going to want to wash your hands before you even start any of this process, which is exactly what I did. And I washed out the sink where the bird is right now. And get that all mixed together. See, when you grab that and it comes out and it's almost like a snowball, that's what you're looking for. So let's try a little taste. Now that definitely needs some more bells. So we'll get that in there, get it going. I'm going to go with at least 2 more, 2.5. So a total of 10 teaspoons of bells is in there right now. I don't usually put that much bells in my stuffing per se, when I would just make it for myself. But Missy likes a lot of bells in her stuffing. So I make it this way. I don't have a problem with it having the extra bells in it. And Missy will make a turkey casserole dish with gravy with some of the leftovers, and it works out real good. Gives it a nice flavor. All right, let's give that a try. Oh, that tastes pretty good. All right, guys, there's one final ingredient that I did not list in our ingredient listing in the front of the video, and that is cranberries. This is something I knew I've tried probably the last 4 or 5 years of putting dried cranberries into my stuffing, and it's really worked out well for us. Now, if you make a meat stuffing, some people do, they'll make a meat stuffing, make a sausage stuffing. I would say you could probably put cranberries in that too, but to each their own. All right, so let me show you what this looks like, guys. That looks fantastic. All right, so I'll get this stuffed into the bird. Then we'll get the bird up here and I'll show you the prep for the bird. It's pretty simple: salt, pepper, butter, and we put a little sage on it. We put some butter under the skin as well. Okay, guys, this is our turkey, all stuffed up. So if you can see it there, all full of stuffing in the front cavity and in the back cavity. Now we're just going to take that, we're going to put it in our roasting pan. We're going to get this over here, and we're going to get it all buttered up and ready to go. Alright, guys, so we got our turkey in the roaster pan. You can see it sitting in there. Now, one of the things that we do is we actually put sticks of butter underneath the skin. So if you come in here and look, I will show you. You just take between the skin and the breast and you just work your finger up there, and it'll just loosen that skin up from the actual breast. Okay, and it creates a little pocket there. And then in that pocket, you're going to take and stick your butter right up in there, right along its back, and then we'll do some on the other side, get them all the way up in there. And believe it or not, we've done this several times with roast chicken that we've done, and it really helps to keep the bird moist. So I try and keep this skin over it. So I try and get some butter right in there, and I usually stick a cube between each thigh. Okay, now I'm going to take the remainder and just rub all over the skin of the bird and get it as much as possible. Okay, and then I just take the extra because you can't use it, you can't butter toast with it. Just throw it down in the bottom, it'll be fine. Okay, so then we're going to take, I'm just going to crack some salt over it. We're going to crack some pepper over it. Okay, and then I take a little ground sage and I sprinkle that on it. Just a little bit. All right. Now, I'm going to take this and put it in our roaster oven. You don't need to put any fluid down in the bottom of this pan. If you want to, you can. But I'm going to set this for 350 degrees. I'm going to put the lid on it, and then we cook it until the little timer comes up. I believe it's like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. You can go online and check cooking time. It's minutes per pound. That's a 20-pound turkey. But we're going to check it. We'll check it with the little pop-up that comes with every turkey. And we have the meat thermometer. I can check it that way too, just to make sure. The only downfall to this roaster is you don't get that really browned browned turkey skin. It leaves it kind of a light golden brown, if anything. That's the only downfall to it. But these things work really, really good, and we don't have the oven on for the next 3 hours. I'm going to have to be over here doing turnip and squash and all the fixings. You don't want to be standing in front of a hot oven, so this keeps the oven off, keeps the room temperature in our little cabin here down. So that works out well. That's it for us for Thanksgiving. Please hit the logo below and subscribe to our channel. It's super helpful. You can hit that like button. That's also nice. If you want to share these videos with someone you find them interesting, please go right ahead. Once again, everybody, I hope you had a wonderful 2020 Thanksgiving. I hope nobody gets sick and has any complications from getting together. And I look forward to seeing you on the next one. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.